Alright, everybody, welcome back to the File Scoreboard podcast. I'm your host, Gyride Gaming, here with my co-host,
Adam the Atomizer.
and today we are going to be reviewing the game Limbo. Now, Limbo is the game that I chose last week. It's an indie game, and I don't really know how to describe it. I guess a puzzle platformer, kinda? Do you think that would be accurate, Atomizer?
Kind of, yeah. I could see that being, puzzle, physics platformer type of game with horror vibes, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd exactly say horror. Maybe the subtext of the world is horror, but it's not like full of horror or anything. So,
I don't know. Spook the heck out of me.
well, speaking of us playing the game, how much did you play this week?
So I did about an hour's worth of gameplay. That translated to me getting about halfway through the game. I didn't get to the end, so I don't think I got the full story of the game, and that's probably one of the things that's affecting my score this time.
I also only got about halfway through. I played maybe an hour and 20, but to be fair, you probably did better than me in terms of like, there were certain spots I kept getting stuck on, and specific. I'll guess I'll go into specific later, but there was one spot in particular really early on that I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Okay, so first category we got is gameplay. So I'll start off with gameplay. So the gameplay, you are a child. It looks like the whole environment is like dark, and like you're playing as a silhouette boy in like this what seems to be a post-apocalyptic world of sorts, and you walk left and right. You can jump. I don't believe there's crouching. You walk left and right, you can grab things, and you can jump. Those are
Yeah, there's no crouching.
that is the gameplay. So you have to use those simple mechanics to solve a bunch of puzzles and things of that nature. And honestly, I enjoyed the puzzle aspect of it. Like, the one experience I was talking about before was the first giant spider you run into. That confused the heck out of me. I was like, I see a bear trap up here. Because there was a bear trap up in a tree. And I was like, I see a bear trap up here. I don't know how to get it. And so at first I thought the solution was grab the spider's leg after it strikes the ground and pull it. And I just could not get the handle of it, and I died like 10 times. Until eventually I looked it up.
Sounds about right.
I looked it up. That was the only thing I looked up, I think, actually, was the spider. And then I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. The spider knocks the bear trap off the tree when it slams in the ground. And there was a bunch of like physics-based puzzles like that throughout the game. And although the moveset is simple, I personally enjoyed the puzzle-solving aspect of the game, which is what the gameplay revolved around. So I gave it a 22 out of 25.
Not bad. Not bad. Alright, so I will say, the spider part, I think I kind of figured it out on accident, because I had the same idea that you did to try to grab the leg, but I just couldn't get it. But I only died a few times because I kept wimping out before I could actually grab it. Like, I wasn't fast enough to actually grab the leg. Only way backing up again did I actually see the bear trap had fallen out of the tree. I was like, oh, this works. But anyway, so this game for me was definitely an interesting experience. Like, it's definitely not my usual cup of tea. I mean, it was charming in its own way, but other than the fact that I knew it was a puzzle game from what you told me last week, the game doesn't really tell you your objective when you start. That being said, it did feel incredibly simple, like you said, with the control scheme, but that didn't stop me from dying multiple times. Like, I just tended to charge headlong into things, and like that tended to get me killed, like, a lot.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way.
Yeah, and like I will say, like it's probably taking my score the fact that I didn't actually finish the game, so it doesn't really appeal to me. So this is gonna sound a bit harsh, but my score for gameplay is a 14 out of 25.
Oof. I mean, I guess I can see it because it's not like a ton of gameplay, but I just enjoy the puzzle aspect of it. So, next we move on to originality. I'll let you take it away on this one.
Okay, so as per usual, I did a bit of digging on this game. Now, as it turns out, this game is actually really incredibly original. Like the minimalist black and white art style is one of the factors contributing to this. Not to mention the vibe of feeling partially like a horror game, like I mentioned earlier. Like it's not meant to focus on that, but the vibe is definitely there. In addition to the physics, like puzzles, and all those contributing factors do make it original. Like it's not the first of its kind. It's not. But that being said, this is one of the games that does the best job of combining those different aspects and turning it into like a a good game for people. Well, there that's I'm going to talk more about that later. But anyway, that's what makes this probably my highest scoring category, 20 out of 25.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't really do any research, but I know from personal experience with the games that I have never seen anything this original before, like this unique. Like the black and white art style, what like while some games do have a black and white art style, this was like a whole different genre of black and white. This was kind of like because like I said before, you're playing as like silhouettes against like a black and white background, so it's like very artistic, very I don't know the word, but like it's it's very like it's very interesting the way they made it look and feel, and like Atomizer said earlier, there are no tutorials. They don't tell you literally anything. You just run and go along your way and you try to figure it out, which I I honestly do enjoy in games. Well, it depends on how they do it, but Elden Ring was the exact same way. They didn't baby you through Elden Ring. You you start out in a level, and then you just run forward, and then you get blasted to smithereens by a big old enemy, and you're like, okay, well now I know to avoid that. And that's the exact same kind of thing this game does, which is probably why I enjoyed it so much because they give you no instructions. You just have to go by feel, and then you figure the game out as you go. And and honestly, I enjoy that kind of game where they're not hand holding you. They're not like making it super easy. They just, I believe they were attempting to tell a story. I also didn't finish the game, so I don't know exactly what that story was. But I could definitely see they were building a story and a world with the post-apocalyptic-esque world that this character was in. And for that originality, I gave it a 25 out of 25.
Wow, you went all in with that one.
Well, I mean, have you seen a game like that before or since?
No, not really.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Then again, games like that kind of mesh together for me.
Alright, so overall feel. Obviously, I've already expressed a lot of my feelings on overall feel. The the black and white aesthetic, what I found interesting was like you could tell they have some objects in the foreground, some objects in the background, and some objects on your main playing field, like where you're jumping. And they do a good job of blending that together. So sometimes it's hard to tell, like if something's in the foreground, the background, or your main like playing space, which I feel like is probably pretty good because they because like sometimes there's like that one part. I'm assuming you probably got to this. You had to like jump into the trees, and then you like go up there and you push a log over to push it into the water.
Oh yeah, that was early on.
Yeah, it was early on, and the like that tree looked like it could have been in the background. So like it did a very nice job of blending into the world. It looked like it was in the background, but then you actually could reach it from the main playing area.
That was actually one of the parts that I was thinking about when you mentioned that. I was like, oh wait, that does sound about right. Like it looks like it blends in.
Yeah, and I feel like they did a good job with the overall art style. Unfortunately, they didn't really have music per se, so I don't know what I'm gonna do for the background of this podcast. Maybe put like Luigi's Mansion music or something, because I feel it's like it would fit the vibe. But they don't have music per se. It's kind of just like a quiet, ominous, like reflective game, I would say. So I get that it does add to the atmosphere by not having like overwhelming music, but for my overall feel score, I gave it a 23 out of 25.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm probably gonna take that argument and like put my own twist on it for a different reason. Okay, so like for my overall feel, this game was incredibly simple to think about. Like we mentioned earlier, that the control scheme was literally just like two buttons and the stick, which made it kind of easy to do things. And the graphics, it like definitely enhanced the feel that they were going for. Like what he said with the blending of environments, like it's like a perfect example of a 2.5D game that feels like it's a 2D game set in a 3D world almost. And they did that pretty seamlessly with what they did with the foreground and the background. My main critique, I'm gonna go into a little bit deeper than he did about this, was the audio. Like the sounds are just enough to get the point across that like it's supposed to be like more reflective of a game, like and more calming. I just felt that the lack of music through the whole thing was kind of sleep inducing. The game was not engaging enough for me with the soundtrack and the puzzles alone. Like my mind tended to wander during the gameplay, and I couldn't keep focus on the puzzles, and that is not exactly a good thing when you're trying to make a compelling game that has a hidden story that I just couldn't see. So, that aside, like the rest of the aspects of the game were good, which is the reason that my score is not as low as it should be for what I just said about the audio. The 2-to-1 ratio of good, good, bad for the overall feel puts this game at a 15 of 25 for overall feel for me.
Huh, interesting. One thing I will say on that though is probably what time you played it could have affected it as well. Like I played the game at like 11 a.m. in the morning, so I wasn't super sleepy. It was like early on in the day.
That's fair. I played it right before last night's stream.
Yeah, so that's probably like 9 p.m. or something, or 8
Right
p.m.
about, yeah.
So like you're probably already feeling a little bit tired. You're about to go into a stream. You've had a full day at work.
Mm-hmm.
So like I played it super early on, which probably did help in terms of like not being like a sleepy game. But anyway, now on to replayability. I guess I'll take it away on this one. I don't have a ton of thoughts on it, just that like there were two aspects that I thought of when I graded replayability. So number one, when you died, how much did it affect you when you had to redo a section? And honestly, they do a good job with checkpoints. From the amount of times that I died, they don't make it too frustrating, and usually it's kind of fun to like try again and try to figure out what you did wrong. There weren't too many frustrating puzzles. I think the puzzle that took me the longest, I'm assuming you got here, this one's a bit later. You know that part where you pull a lever and the water starts rising and you have to like drag a box and then pull a platform away to make the box float through a gap?
I think that was the puzzle I may have stopped on, because I got to the point where I saw a water wheel and I saw a lever. I pulled the lever and it didn't really do anything other than like lean against the water wheel.
Oh, that's actually right before the puzzle I'm doing.
Okay, then
So,
I didn't quite get as far.
yeah, I got maybe 10 minutes further down the line than you did. I
Mhm.
didn't go much farther than that one, but basically there was a puzzle where you drag a box, and there is a platform that you can pull. Like they make it not too obvious. You can pull this platform out of the way, but like you pull a lever and the water starts rising and the box floats on the water, and so then you climb up a ladder, and then you have to pull this platform out of the way, so that way you have a gap for the box to go through, and then you can jump on the box and float your way to the top of like the puzzle section. And like that
Okay.
one took me a solid good amount of attempts because I just did not realize you could pull the box. And like it wasn't super frustrating to redo, even though that was probably the puzzle that had the longest I wouldn't say reload time, but like the longest amount of time that you had to like set up things, because you had to like drag the box and pull the lever and climb the ladder and try to like
Mhm.
put the box in the right place. And in order to kill yourself, if you wanted to reset the puzzle, you had to wait for yourself to drown.
Mm. That makes sense. Although I did discover there's a reload chapter button in the pause menu.
Oh yeah, my only problem with that, I guess this is just a general critique of the game. I thought there were chapters like it would tell you when a chapter was over.
Nope, each puzzle's a chapter.
Yeah. So when I was playing it, like in my playthrough, you could hear a distinct certain amount of times where I'm like, I was trying to like I think at the end it was like I was trying to finish this chapter, but I still haven't found where the chapter ends because
Hmm.
I thought there was gonna be like a distinct like stopping point in the middle somewhere, and then eventually I paused it and looked at the select chapter thing, or something. It was like select chapters or like view chapters or something, and then I saw I was halfway through the game. I was like, oh, did not realize that I was like halfway through the game, and that all these chapters are already done, and they just didn't tell me. So I don't know if that's really a critique of the game per se. It just wasn't really obvious, so I didn't have the reload. I didn't use the reload chapter button because I thought it would start me over from the beginning of the game.
Right.
But anyway, so replayability in that aspect of replaying puzzles, actually pretty decent. They didn't really make it super annoying with checkpoints or anything. But replayability in terms of would I play this game again? Maybe I would finish it. Like, I might finish it for the playthrough for the channel, or not the channel, the Patreon, because I should probably post my playthrough on the Patreon for the people who have never heard or seen this game before, so they really know what we're talking about. Because the other games are like all like concepts you probably can guess, like Yoshi or Wario or whatever. It's not like super complex, but this game is like so unique. I think I should post it before the rest of the playthroughs. So, terms of replayability, would I play this again? I would not play from the beginning again. I might finish the game, and that's about it. So, for me, replayability is a 17 out of 25.
Okay. I'm going to preface my replayability by saying what you just said about the chapters made me change my score a little bit. You had your first time changing your score during one of the previous games we did. Now it's my turn to change my own score about this category. Okay. That being said, for replayability, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't really enjoy the game, but then again, you probably could gather that from what I've been saying about it. Again, it's probably because I didn't finish it, so I didn't get the full story. But I don't really see myself coming back to this. Like, there's a chance that happens, but that's an incredibly small chance. Like, my main complaint is that when I play certain types of games, I want an engaging story, something for my mind to latch onto while I try to figure out the confusing controls. Well, not so confusing in this case, and try to figure out how the world works. They didn't give that to me this time. They just threw me right in and said, "Have fun." Like, what am I supposed to do? But what you said about the chapters earlier did make me bump my score upwards a little bit. Like, I did appreciate the reload chapter button that made it so that it's just at the beginning of every puzzle you can like go back to the beginning of the puzzle. Like, I got stuck inside a little divot at the last puzzle that I did, and that's when I discovered the reload chapter button. Like, oh, I am just over halfway through the game, and learning that I had that button did make it a bit more bearable, but at the same time, not by much. But yeah, like, this game wasn't really that great of an experience for me just because I didn't know what was going on, and I like to know what's going on while I'm playing a game that I'm learning about. So, this was the category that I'm allowed to be most scathing in, but even then, I turned it up a little bit after learning about the chapters, putting my score at a 12 out of 25.
Yeah, one thing I will say in terms of like what you said, like with this not having them baby you through the game or like explain things to you, like my own personal gameplay style, I enjoy the discovery, the learning, like the figuring things out without being like taught how to do it, which I guess means that this game was a good game for me, even though you obviously had a much different opinion of it. Because
yeah, that's where we differ on things. Like, I like to learn more about the world through like narrative storytelling.
yeah, and I enjoy like the subtle, like them like kind of like cluing you into things. Like if you just watch the background as you play, and you kind of get a sense for the world that is being built around you as you play the game. Like you see, well, I guess you didn't get to this part, but there's a like broken down hotel sign that you have to jump across. Like it's like one of those like light up neon hotel signs.
Yeah, I didn't get to that part.
So like it starts to build the picture. Like there are these giant spiders. There's like very few people, but there are some little characters that are like running away or trying to kill you.
That was the thing. Like, that confused me the most. Like, you're just a little boy running around in a post-apocalyptic world. Apocalyptic world. Why are the other kids trying to kill you? Are you an outcast or something? Like, that made no sense to me.
I don't believe they were kids. I think
like,
they were adults. Because like they specifically made your character have like hair to make it look like a little child, and the other characters were just like stick figures. So personally, the way I interpreted it was I thought they were like adults, and I don't really know why they were hunting you. I didn't get to the end of the game, so I can't tell. But just generally, it paints a picture of like a post-apocalyptic world where, for some reason, giant spiders exist, and society has crumbled because there are these like contraptions like the water wheels and stuff, and the broken hotel sign and things like that, where it's like something obviously went wrong, and I bet if you keep playing the game, it might explain it to you a little bit better through the visual storytelling. But
no, I don't doubt it. Like, it's just like at my current level of learning about the game, it just didn't like appeal. It didn't catch me as much.
yeah, and I guess that's fair if you don't like or appreciate visual storytelling as opposed to like the regular like narrative or audio storytelling.
Don't get me wrong, visual storytelling is fun, but like, I think it was just a little too hidden for my brain that's trying to focus on, okay, how do I get past this part? How do I get past this part? I couldn't focus on the visual storytelling while trying to work out the puzzles. It just didn't catch my attention.
Oh yeah, and that's fair. Like you might just be like the type of person who needs like visual and audio storytelling combined or whatever, and that's fair. But anyway, for me, this game ended up at an 87 out of 100. So that would be a clean A tier game. I'm pretty sure yours is lower than that.
Oh yeah. Me reworking my score, it didn't really change what tier it ended up in, although I'm surprised it didn't end up lower, but that's because it's probably because of the originality category. But this puts me at a 61 out of 100, putting me in a mid B tier.
Mid B tier, 61. Wait, that puts it worse than
Which is-
Shrek, worse than Yoshi. I
Yeah.
can't stand for that.
And
I
well, I can't stand for the fact that you put it in A tier.
ugh. Well, I think it's an A tier game. It's certainly not an S tier game, at least not for me at the moment. But I believe it's an A tier game. I would be willing to negotiate above Yoshi and Shrek, personally. To be honest, I think it's above Wario Land. It might.
I see it as like if you're putting it above Yoshi and Shrek, then I demand it be below Wario.
I guess that's fine, because like Wario's in A tier, so you don't want it in A tier anyway. I feel horrible putting it in B tier because it's such a unique and original game, and I enjoyed my time with it.
I'm sorry, I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
Like people are probably gonna be mad at me for saying it, but like my point of view of this game, like I just didn't enjoy it. I gave it a fair shot, like, but I can at least say it's not as bad as Jedi Academy.
oh no, Jedi Academy is horrid. This game at least was a decent game and had like an interesting premise. Okay, so we're above Yoshi and Shrek, below Wario Land. Yoshi's at a 63.
I can agree.
Yoshi's
with
at a 63. Wario Land's an 80. You don't want it in A tier. A tier is 76.
that. So then let's put this at about.
Can we go
if
at
we're
least a
trying to-
70? Can I get you to a 70?
I was about to say that like if it's like somewhere in between my low score and your high score, I think 70 is a decent common ground. 70 exactly.
All right, that works for me. I wish it was A tier, and on my personal list, it is an A tier. But as we've already discussed on this show, my personal list is not the same as this list here, because like I also have Metroid Fusion in S tier in my personal list, but we put it top of A tier.
Exactly.
We have not yet found that S tier game that both of us agree on.
Like we have different mindsets as gamers, which is what balances this show out.
It does make it interesting, and that's what I was hoping with picking this title, was that it would spark more debate and make like us have more interesting opinions. Because in case you hadn't noticed, the past couple of weeks we've been very close scores, with last week's being literally exactly the same, -1 point. So we've been on the same page, which is fair for Nintendo games, but like I wanted to really branch out somewhere different.
Speaking of which, it's my turn to branch out a little differently. So, I did a little bit of digging into what game I kind of wanted to do, and I wanted to avoid the same kinds of games that I have been picking, because I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wanted to stick into my comfort zone a little bit, while my schedule's been so complicated. But that being said, I do think it's time for me to branch out. The console I'm going with is Sega Genesis, believe it or not. And the game I'm choosing is Contra Hardcore, spelled CORPS.
Wait, let me see.
You've heard of the Contra games, right?
I don't think so.
Well, it's like a shoot 'em up game.
Oh, hardcore core being CORPS. I was like, I didn't understand what you meant.
No, you got Contra Hardcore, and core is spelled CORPS.
Okay, I was confused. Okay, so this, from the screenshots I'm seeing, it gives Doom / like Metroid vibes, and also it's very Sega Genesis like.
You went a different direction. Now it's my turn to go a different direction.
Yeah, I'm interested to try it. I don't know how.
Like I didn't look at any of the reviews. It just kind of looked interesting from what I know about the Contra games, and that's not a lot.
I've never heard of the Contra games, so.
Then again, I'm probably pulling from my experience. Like this is gonna be a deep cut. But back when I was in school, like younger school, there was this game I used to play on the internet called Super Mario Crossover. One of the characters you could play as was a character from the Contra series. So you had their controls with the gun and everything in while you're playing Super Mario Bros. Like the original
Oh
Mario
yeah,
Bros.
I did play the Mario crossover game, but I did not realize that that guy was in here. I wish I still had that game
Yeah,
around, but
like
I've
I
looked it
know,
up and I
right?
can't find it anywhere because I don't think anyone saved it.
Dang, that would have been
Imagine that
fun.
was our game of the week, Mario crossover.
Anyway, yeah, like I remember them telling the saying what game each character was from. So I was like, Contra sounds familiar. Wait, that's for this character. Oh, this could be interesting. So yeah, my choice for next week is Contra Hardcore for the Sega Genesis.
Alrighty, I look forward to trying it out and seeing what it's all about. So now that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/SaveFileScoreboard, where we have a couple of our gameplays of the games out. I'm thinking about just releasing well, I'm gonna have to edit out a couple of parts where I like stopped playing and like left it going or whatever. But for them, I'm gonna besides that, I'm gonna keep it as a long play. I'm not gonna like edit it down because I feel like this game really benefits from seeing the whole game. So,
That would make sense.
like, so that way you guys know what this game is all about and what it looks like, because it's a very unique game and it's hard to really describe without seeing it for yourselves. So, after you watch this review, or even before it maybe, you could check out the gameplay and kind of see what we're judging, so that way you know what's going on. And then make sure to subscribe to Atomizer. He's streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 10 p.m. EST, and Saturday
Okay,
mornings. So if you want to catch some streams, he just played Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy last night. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I'm assuming he probably didn't finish the game yet.
What do you think? I didn't. Of course, I didn't finish the game.
Yeah, I played the game for like 15 hours offline, but like a year or two ago, and I never finished the game. So I would be shocked if he finished it in 2 hours.
I don't know. I'm allowed to nominate people when I beat it, so.
Oh no! Well, I'm gonna have to practice, I think, so I can actually beat it. But yeah. Anyway, so check him out. He does some fun stuff over there, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.
See ya.